In front of you is an uncatalogued oil on panel, signed, dated, and titled Venice, which I believe is by the hand of James W. Turner. Here is an image analysis that we have designed to show the relationship these two works have with each other. This imaging study shows an architectural draft layout and spatial relationship to an existing Turner canvas, Venice Sunset of Fisher. The oil on-panel image was scaled to match the existing canvas's dimensions and then opacified and overlaid onto Venice Sunset of Fisher in the image below. This is a high-res image comparison showing the spatial relationship between two of Turner's Venetian sketches stitched together, a cropped section of the horizon line and remaining architecture of Venice Sunset of Fisher, and their relationship to the oil on wood panel. In these images from Turner's Vienna up to Venice sketchbook, we stitched together a number of possibilities that give visual explanation to the oil panel. The juxtaposed views below are possible explanations as to how Turner may have utilized his sketches. Turner worked up such ideas directly on canvas or panel of suitable size and used the result for an exhibited painting. Turner did not let ideas go to waste, in that he retained pencil sketches in bound sketchbooks, partly colored sketches, a few sketches in oil applied directly to paper, and many more canvases on which he had begun to elaborate ideas in oil medium. Dr. Joyce Townsend from her book, Turner's Painting Techniques. Spatial relationships of these juxtaposed examples provide further evidence for attribution. Turner's unique skill sets for this type of artistic license are well documented in many biographies. This image shows writing beneath the top layer of paint and glaze with a signature, title, and date. The writing is located between the reflections along the waterline of the boat and in the hull. The year 1834, the title Venice, and a scribbled signature of Turner's are all visible with little magnification. We now turn our attention to Turner's use of Romantic symbolism. For this example, we look to Turner's Bassino and the Riva degli Schiavoni. Ian Worrell, in his book Turner and Venice, relates, "The positioning of the gondola is crucial to the recession across the glassy surface towards San Giorgio Maggiore, and continues a diagonal perspective line that starts in the lower right corner, where the viewer is given a solid platform from which to enter the scene. From these imagined steps of the Europa, two dogs indicate where to look." Is this the 1834 ceremony for marrying the city of Venice to the sea, or is this Turner bearing witness to the end or continuation of slavery? Note Turner's artistic license, as he seems to taunt the Doge by adding an extension to his costume at the rump. The figures sitting in the vessel in the mid-background below the main structure for the painting appear to be of royalty. Observed are forms of tiara crowns, shields, sword, boomerang, and longbow. These weapons represent a historical timeline relative to the invention of the gun, which appears on the opposite side of the painting. Turner's use of bird and animal motifs are noted throughout his career. In the scene below, the mallard's trajectory to the water is opposite to Turner's use of the duck ascending from the water in Peace Burial at Sea. Could the duck's injuries have been caused by the rifle in the image below? The character in the boat guarding the slaves is holding what appears to be a rifle. The symbolism reflected here establishes a timeline for the end of slavery in England, 1834. In April of 2004, I brought the painting to Macron's laboratory in Westmont, Illinois for analytical studies and to determine if the materials present are from Turner's period. All of the materials identified in this painting are known to have been used by Turner. Finally, the great complexity of this painting's palette is consistent with what is known about Turner's usage of materials. Further analysis concluded that the paint's binding mediums are from a drying oil and not from a proteinaceous source. The proteinaceous material previously identified is most likely a priming layer. Dr. Joyce Townsend of the Tate, London, confirms that all the materials in the painting are consistent with Turner's era. Letters attributing the painting to Turner were sent to Macrone Associates in March of 2004. The tests on these documents indicate that the materials were appropriate for the middle 1870s. The variations in the ingredients in the inks suggest that the documents were created in a variety of different settings. English educator Thomas Edward Brown, who is the national man's poet, made inquiries for Mrs. Wood as to authorship. Previous owner Antoine Zaleski provided some information, but referred further questions to Passetti and Mr. Viassou. George Bowden's letter, addressed 22 Hull Street, realized by eminent judges of art to its authorship, as well as Edward Moran, with the aid of John Ruskin and Ralph Warnham, confirmed. Multiple avenues of expertise were employed to compare this painting. Analytical and forensic sciences, imaging studies comparing to existing catalog, in-depth study into the painting's provenance. In the study for this painting, it's important to mention Turner's working method, which it would have required an oil drawing or watercolor vignette for the exhibited paintings Venice Sunset of Fisher, as well as Venice Noon of Fisher. It is likely the same drawing was utilized for both canvases. In our search, we have not been able to locate such a draft. I propose this piece is that draft.